You have heard the rumor, no doubt. Bankruptcy means you have lost everything: the house, the car, your dignity, your future. Financial death, they whisper. Well, allow me to dismantle that frightful little myth entirely. Most of it is simply wrong. Here is the truth almost nobody tells you. Bankruptcy is not a punishment dreamed up to ruin you. It is a legal tool written into law on purpose, designed to give honest people a way out of a hole they cannot climb from. Picture a person buried under debt that grows faster than they can ever pay it. The phone rings all day. Wages get seized. The math simply does not work anymore. Bankruptcy exists precisely for that person. It is a reset button, not a tombstone. And before you assume this happens only to the reckless, consider the numbers. Over 400,000 Americans file for bankruptcy in a typical recent year. The leading cause is not lavish spending, it is medical bills, an illness nobody chose. So today we will sweep away the fear and show you how this actually works. The two main types: the protections you get instantly, what survives and what does not, and how people genuinely recover. Stay with me, this is far more hopeful than you think. There are two flavors most ordinary people will ever meet: Chapter 7 and Chapter 13. The names come from sections of the Bankruptcy Code, which is about as romantic as the law ever gets. Each works quite differently, so do pay attention here. Type 1, Chapter 7, often called liquidation. This is the quick one. It generally wipes out most of your unsecured debts, credit cards, medical bills, personal loans in roughly 3 to 5 months. A short, sharp, clean slate, broadly speaking. But there is a catch, and it is an important one. To qualify for Chapter 7, you must pass what is called a means test. In plain English, the court checks whether your income is low enough. Earn too much, and this door may be closed to you. Now, people hear liquidation and panic. They picture officials hauling away the sofa. In reality, most everyday Chapter 7 cases are what lawyers call no-asset cases. Thanks to exemptions, the filer usually keeps their ordinary possessions. We will get to those exemptions shortly. Type 2, Chapter 13, the reorganization. This one is for people with steady income who want to keep their assets, especially a home. Instead of wiping debts away, you enter a court-supervised repayment plan that typically runs 3 to 5 years. Think of Chapter 13 as a structured truce. The court bundles what you owe into one manageable monthly payment you can actually afford. At the end of the plan, much of the remaining qualifying debt is discharged. You keep the house, you catch your breath. So here is the simple way to remember it. Chapter 7, wipe the slate, lose qualifying debt fast, but you must qualify. Chapter 13, keep your stuff, pay back over years on a plan. Different tools for different troubles. Neither is the end of the world. Now for my favorite part, and the one almost nobody knows about. The very moment you file, something rather magnificent happens. It is called the automatic stay, and it works like an invisible shield snapping up around you instantly. The instant that paperwork is filed, the harassment stops. By law, collectors must cease calling. Wage garnishment halts. A looming foreclosure or repossession is paused. That relentless ringing phone goes silent, often for the first time in months. Quite the relief. Imagine the sheer exhaustion of being chased every single day, then suddenly silence. That breathing room is not a loophole. It is the law doing exactly what it was designed to do, give you space to sort things out without a stampede of creditors. I should add a sensible caveat. The stay is powerful, but it is not infinite or unbreakable. Certain obligations carry on, and creditors can sometimes ask the court for permission to proceed. Still, for most filers, that immediate quiet is genuinely life-changing. Now, here is where the myth truly falls apart. Bankruptcy does not erase every debt, and it does not strip you bare. The law is rather particular about what goes and what stays. So let us separate fact from campfire ghost story. What typically gets discharged, meaning wiped away, credit card balances, medical bills, personal loans, most ordinary unsecured debt. These are the debts that crush households, and these are precisely the ones bankruptcy was built to relieve. That, my dear viewer, is the whole point. But certain debts generally survive, and you must know them. Student loans in most cases, child support and alimony, Recent tax debts. These usually survive even after a discharge. Bankruptcy is powerful, but it is not a magic wand for everything. Then there are exemptions, the unsung heroes of this whole affair. Exemptions are the legal protections that let you keep essential property even in Chapter 7. Often some equity in your home, a modest car, household goods, and the tools you need for your trade. Here is the crucial wrinkle, though. Exemptions vary quite a lot from state to state. What is protected in one place may differ in another, and the dollar figures shift over time. So treat any specific amount you hear as an example, never as gospel. Put it together, and the picture changes completely. Most filers keep their basic belongings, shed the debts designed to be shed, and walk out with a foundation to rebuild on. Not stripped bare, not financially dead. Reset. There is rather a large difference. Skeptical. Let us look at the proof. Bankruptcy is not some shameful back-alley dodge. The very idea is written into the United States Constitution, which empowered Congress to create uniform bankruptcy laws. The founders themselves believed people deserve a second chance. And it is not only for the desperate or the foolish. History is generously sprinkled with people who filed, recovered, and went on to extraordinary success. Bankruptcy was a chapter in their story, not the final page. The stigma, frankly, is wildly outdated. Consider the scale once more. Hundreds of thousands of ordinary Americans use this system every single year, and a great many of them cite medical bills as the trigger. These are not villains. They are nurses, teachers, and parents who hit a wall. Which leads to the point I most want you to carry away. Bankruptcy is a legal reset, not a moral failure. The law treats it as a financial event, full stop. The shame people attach to it is a story we tell ourselves, and a wrong one. But here comes the big objection, does it not? Surely bankruptcy obliterates your credit forever. You will never borrow again, never own a home. Let us address that directly, because the reality is far less grim than the legend suggests. Yes, it leaves a mark. A Chapter 7 can stay on your credit report for about 10 years, a Chapter 13 for roughly 7. That sounds dreadful written down. But here is the part the scary stories conveniently leave out entirely. Your credit score does not stay in the basement for a decade. For many people, it actually begins recovering within 1 to 2 years, especially once that crushing debt is gone and the income is no longer being garnished. Recovery starts far sooner than the report ends. Think about it sensibly. Before filing, your credit was likely already battered by missed payments and maxed cards. Bankruptcy can actually mark the bottom of the curve, the moment things stop falling and finally start to climb. A floor, not a bottomless pit. So how does one actually rebuild? Step 1. File with the right help. Bankruptcy is genuine legal territory, and the paperwork is fussy. Most people work with a bankruptcy attorney, and many courts also require an approved credit counseling course before you file. Step 2. Pick the right chapter for your life. If your income is low and you mainly carry unsecured debt, Chapter 7 may fit. If you earn steadily and want to save a home, Chapter 13 may suit you better. This is exactly what good advice sorts out. Step 3. Once it is done, start rebuilding deliberately. A secured credit card, paid on time every month, is a classic first rung. Small, consistent, on-time payments are how a score quietly climbs back up. Patience here is genuinely your friend. Step 4. Change the habit that built the hole where you can. Sometimes the cause was pure bad luck, like illness, and there is nothing to fix. But where a budget or a spending pattern played a part, this is your fresh page. Use it well. And please, hold on to this. Needing a reset does not make you a failure. The most resilient people are often the ones who hit the wall, used the tool the law provides, and built something steadier on the other side. There is no shame in starting again. Right then, let us gather it all up. Bankruptcy is not financial death. It is a legal reset, built on purpose, used by hundreds of thousands of ordinary people each year, most often after something as innocent as a stack of medical bills. 2 main paths. Chapter 7 wipes most unsecured debt fast if you pass the means test. Chapter 13 reorganizes it into a plan over several years so you keep your home. The moment you file, the automatic stay silences the collectors. Splendid, that bit. Remember what survives: student loans, support payments, recent taxes. Remember what protects you: exemptions which vary by state. And remember the hopeful truth: your credit can begin climbing within a year or two, long before the record itself fades away. One honest note before you go: this is education, not legal advice, and every situation differs. Any figures I have mentioned are examples for 2025, and rules shift over time. If you are facing this, do speak with a qualified professional about your own case. So here is my question for you, and I would love your answer below. Did bankruptcy still sound like financial death before today, or did something here surprise you? Tell me in the comments. Then, do like this video, subscribe for one splendid explanation at a time, and share it with someone who needs the hope. Cheerio.